Okay guys, I'm going to walk you through setting up ROBOTC in your program. So open ROBOTC for VEX Robotics. Once this screen goes away, I'm going to need you to go to Robot, Platform Type, make sure it's on Natural Language. Okay, make sure there's a check mark next to Natural Language. Now I'm going to go to File, Open Sample Program. I'm going to go down to my PLTW folder if you're not already in it. My PLTW template, open. Okay, now I just want to make sure, go to File or Robot, Platform Type, and make sure it's on Natural Language again. Okay, so once that's done, I need you to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to save it as in my stuff, so my D drive, under Instructional Program. So I already have an instructional program, so I'm going to make that one. Do not save it as your PLTW template. It will override the clear template, and every time you open it, it's going to be the same program, even when you write another program. So do not save it as PLTW template. Okay, I'm hitting save. So now I have it saved. Okay, immediately I want to go to my robot. I want to go to Motor and Sensor Setup. Now I'm going to go to Motors. I'm going to look at my test bed and see which port my motor is plugged into. So for this purpose, I'm going to say it's in port 1. So I'm going to call it Motor 1. It's a VEX 393 motor. Make sure you have it in the right port, because if you don't, it won't work. Now I'm going to go to my digital sensors. I'm going to hit the bump switch. I'm going to say it's in digital 1. And I'm going to call it bump switch. It's a touch sensor. Now, if I have two, let's say I have a limit switch and it's in digital 3, I'm going to put it in digital 3. I'm going to call it limit switch, and that is a touch sensor as well. Okay, so now I have my motor in port 1, my digital sensors in digital 1 and digital 3. Okay, now that's going to show up here. It says the same thing. My bump switch is in digital 1, limit switch digital 3, and my motor is in port 1. Okay, so now my project title is my first program. My team members are Ms. Schaff and partner. The date is the 27th of October 2014, and section is block 7. Okay, don't worry about the task description and pseudocode right now. What I want you to go down is to here. Notice how there's an opening bracket and a closing bracket. All of your code goes in between those. If you do not have an open and a closed, it won't accept your program. So let's go over here, go to natural language. Let's open up movement, until, and wait. Okay, the first line of code I want is stop motor, because more classes are using these test beds, and oftentimes their program is already in the test bed, and that's why when you plug it in, the motors are running without you even doing anything. So my first line is going to be stop motor, and my motor is called motor 1. Okay, and you see how between there's a opening parentheses and a closing parentheses. Also, there's a semicolon. Each line of code has to have those 3 things or it won't accept it. So I stopped my motor. Now I want to start my motor. Start motor. My motor power is motor 1. My speed is 63. There's a semicolon at the end. I want to wait for 4 seconds. And then I want to stop my motor. Now when we have stop motor, notice how there's no speed. You don't need the speed because it's not running. Before I start my motor, however, I want to make it until I hit that bump switch. It turns on. So let's go until touch. And I have my bump switch in here. So that means all the motors stop. Then until I hit that bump switch, it turns on at 63. It runs for 4 seconds and it stops. So now I want to compile my program to see if there's any mistakes. All right, good. So if I don't have any X's, that means I wrote it correctly. If I do, it usually tells you right under here what you did wrong. So read that and see if you can fix it from there. Once I compile my program, I'm going to download to Robot, hit start, and see if it works.